Well, why don't you? This gentleman here is involved in this program, doing hunting for these veterans who are coming back. Why don't you give us a little rundown on what you guys do?
All right, well, me and Jeremy started this back in February.
You're going to have to speak up because this is a loud group around you.
I say me and Jeremy started this back in February, Wounded Heroes Hunting Camp, more or less to give back to these guys for their services, what they've done for us, and, you know, protect and take care of our country and everything that's about it. Then we got them out this weekend to go duck and goose hunting. We also took them on a pheasant hunt. Yesterday they shot 10 pheasants, 8 quail, 3 geese, and 5 ducks. And today we shot 1 goose and 11 ducks. So we had a real good morning this morning, and I hope they had a blast.
Did you guys get a chance to eat the stuff you shoot? Or?
Yeah, we're actually
going to eat tonight.
We're actually going to a good friend of ours' barn up in Cordova, and they're doing all the cooking for us up there, and we're having pheasants.
Oh, that's a deal. You got somebody cooking for you.
Pheasants and quail and geese tonight, so it'll be a good time.
Probably beats trolley rations. I'm sure you guys didn't get any charge. You get what, meals ready to eat?
Yeah, MREs.
Why don't we move over to this gentleman right here, and why don't you tell us where you did your service?
All right, I was a Marine Corps machine gunner, 0331. Got 2 deployments to Fallujah, Iraq under my belt, and I got out in 2008 and going to college right now on the GI Bill in my last semester. And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan this semester, I'll be going back to medical school in the Uniformed Services University for Health Sciences.
Using the VA for that?
I'm using the GI Bill right now, and I'm trying to go back into the military and become a military doctor. Maybe Army, Navy, who knows? Whichever one I can get into.
If you need some help, I got a friend of mine, his name is Dr. Mason. He's a former Navy doctor. Both he and his wife are former Navy doctors. And if you need some help, I bet I could get him to help you.
I'm pulling the U-shoes. I'm applying to U-shoes in June.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And your name is?
Kenny Rich.
Yeah. And where did you do your service? Why don't you swing around a little bit so you can look at this beautiful young lady?
I've been in the Army 18 years, done 1 tour to Iraq, 3 to Afghanistan. I'll be retiring out in 3 weeks. I'm being pushed out of disabled, so it's been a good career. Good career.
Well, how did you get in the Army? Did you come through Maryland?
Aberdeen Proving Ground was my first duty station. And I stayed up here for about a year, and then I went back to Fort Stewart and stayed down there. Mostly I stayed in the South, about everywhere I stayed.
So what unit were you in overseas?
Twice was with 3rd ID out of Fort Stewart, and then the last 2 tours I was with the 25th Infantry Division.
So what were you doing over there?
First tour, artillery. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th was all infantry.
What kind of artillery were you
155 Howitzers, Paladins. So we, and then for some reason I decided to go from artillery to infantry my last 3 tours. Don't know what I was thinking with that.
When you were in the infantry, what were you, in a rifle platoon or company? Or?
Yeah, we was with a rifle platoon. You know, it was a learning experience for me. It cost me too in the long run. That's how I ended up getting injured, was while over. But it was we just done patrols every day. Stayed within the villages to let them know we was there. It was a learning experience.
So when you came back, how long were you in the hospital?
I'm actually still in what they call a warrior transition battalion. I'm actually still in it. I've been in it for 4 years now. But like I say, I just received my ratings, so here in 3 weeks I'm walking away.
And have you been connected with the VA already?
Yeah, I would be drawing 100% for the VA. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
This is the young Marine here, and he doesn't have any trigger time yet, but he's going to get somewhere. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Currently going to grad school up at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and I will graduate in May. And then I class up at the basic school down in Quantico, Virginia here in July, and then start my career in the Marine Corps and serve for at least a minimum of 6 years. And then if I want to, re-sign and re-enlist and, continue the career and possibly do 20, but we'll see how it goes. And took these fine boys out hunting today, and it's much more than just a hunt. It's, get these guys out, the bonding, the friendships form. That's something that you can't trade for anything, because the one thing that always gotten us through everything is that brother next to us, and getting these guys out in the duck blind with their fellow brothers. That's something.
Oh, you're involved though in this program.
Zach and I started the program.
Yeah. Because I was there at the
Yes,
I was
sir.
there at the dinner.
Yes, sir.
But you missed my class at the basic school. See, between 1964 and 1967, I taught at the basic school.
Just missed it.
It just missed it. We got another Marine over here. I want you to get this Marine. Tell us about your Marine Corps time.
How you doing? My name's John, former Marine, served from 2000 to 2008. Combat tours in Fallujah, Iraq as well. Currently I work for the VA with the Baltimore VETS Center, and the primary mission of the VETS Center is readjustment counseling for combat veterans. We're part of the VA hospital, but we're out in the communities, we're out in the neighborhoods, and veterans that are experiencing PTSD symptoms, anger management, family and marriage issues, they can come to a local VETS Center and receive free counseling. All of our counselors are licensed clinical social workers, and the good thing about it is half of our staff, maybe 3/4 of the staff, are veterans too. A lot of them have served tours in Iraq, Afghanistan. We have Vietnam vets that are also counselors, and they facilitate Vietnam group sessions at the individual vet centers. And we range all over the state, from Aberdeen, Baltimore, Baltimore City, PG County, locally here in Cambridge and Easton, Annapolis, and then if the veteran decides to relocate outside of Maryland, these vet centers are all over the country too. We're in all 50 states, to include Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands now too. And all we're looking for is a copy of their DD-214 to show that they served in combat. We cater towards the combat veteran, and then come in and receive free counseling, free services through the VA.
What are some of the common problems you run into with families? I know the families have the difficulties, and they're on their own, and they have to put up with being alone and take care of things. What are some of the common problems you run into that families face?
The biggest challenge I think that we run into is when the husband or wife comes back from being deployed. There's a disconnect within the family and within the kids too. There's a disconnect with the kids to their father, the kids to their mom, and within the vet center, we can have families come in to receive that counseling. The whole family can come in, the husband, the wife, the kids, and just help them with a successful readjustment back to civilian life when they come back from being overseas.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did when you were overseas? Were you with a rifle company, or?
I wasn't. I was with 2nd Radio Battalion, and then also served with 2nd LAR, which is Light Armor Reconnaissance.
What did they do, Light Armor Reconnaissance?
It's pretty much search and destroy. I was a driver for them, and then within the Radio Battalion community, they do signals intelligence out in the field, and served 8 months in Fallujah back in 2004.
What kind of communication equipment do you got over there?
We got it all. We got radios, we got collection equipment, scanners so you can pick up a frequency, what they're saying. We have linguists with us that speak Arabic, so they can tap into a frequency, hear what they're saying, and then translate what's going on.
So you were working intelligence too, and not
Yes.
just, you were listening to them.
Correct.
The bad guys.
Correct.